Значит, меня зовут Андрей.
My name is Andrei. I represent Moscow State Service of Agrochemical Sector. In the same way as Agrochemical Service of Belgorod Oblast, receiving soil analysis within a number of years, we have selected Microsoft SQL Server as the tool or method to preserve the accumulated information. Besides having collected the whole information into one database, enabled to automate main processes. In the previous presentation, they were mentioned the passwords and fertility. So in order to fill in this document, data from various sources are required. These are the public cadastral map, the territorial location, the administrative division of Moscow Oblast, separate map of the land plots, separate maps concerning drained and irrigated lands. In my presentation, I would like to mention how we selected the layers and how we created them in order to organize all these. So all the layers which will be mentioned, they are prepared and they are uploaded within Microsoft SQL Server. Prior to the uploading, database needs to have some space in order just to upload these layers. So we have to create main tables. The first layer that was created and we started to fill it in, it was public cadastral card. So from this public cadastral map, we take information related to the boundaries of the land plot, the number, the square meters, and the address. So at the current moment, we have digitized 3,567 cadasters in database. Attributive information, the prepared file, they are identical to the attributive information of the main table. This is not shown, but there was carried out huge preparatory work for attributive features. The next source were Vishkagi tablets. We had the scale 1 to 10,000. The work was carried out on the territory of the whole Moscow in 1993. As the result of such work, for oblast they were defined types of land plots, availability or lack of melioration, assigned wood and forest resources. Initial one, there was in the form of JPEG pictures. What was done initially? These pictures were assigned geographical assignment. White color became transparent. So we see here field, which is separately identified. Hay fields, grass fields. As a result of digitizing, in one layer they were distinguished land plots. Digitized on the arable land, hay fields, grass fields, and long-term plantings. So for the whole Moscow Oblast, they were so that figure of polygons with the mentioned hectares. Based on that map, melioration layer was also created. This layer has information about drained and irrigated lands. So as you can see, we try to make simple layers. Shape layer devoted to the melioration and shape layer devoted to the land plots. These layers were necessary for us because the fertility passport has some place where you have to fill in the square meters, and also you have to estimate the space occupied by irrigated and drained fields. There's some space for the automated filling in of the information. Then we can see the type of the soil. For this, soil map was digitized. We used digital model of the relief. As a result, we received a separate layer of soil maps which covers practically the whole area of Moscow Oblast. One more layer which was created for the whole Moscow Oblast is the level of the ability of forests. It's also a simple layer. The polygons are created along the whole Moscow Oblast, where trees or bushes are presented. So how was this layer created? So we took updated satellite images. We found them on
В открытом доступе.
website and open access. So we could see, based on the updated pictures, photos, young bushes. So we targeted such places with the availability of young trees. And lately we were searching for similar land plots on the territory of Moscow Oblast. So this is the layer for availability of forest, which enables us to define automatically availability of trees within the fields. As far as accuracy of definition is not high, we made another layer of forests availability, which is created with the help of mobile GIS systems. We already tested this method, and I will tell about this and demonstrate it. These are all layers which are referenced and which were created. All the above mentioned layers were created for the whole Moscow Oblast, as well as the database has the layers for the fields. The fields are the target of our survey. Agrochemical survey is attached to the boundaries of such fields, as well as the monitoring outcomes. Currently we have about 30,000 of polygons with the space of 80,000 hectares. And the last layer, which was uploaded, the points. This slide, in red color, you can see the boundaries of the cadastral land plots. By color, you can see various fields. The dots represent our centroids. First task, which is resolved automatically, separation or distinguishing of land plots within the cadastral land area. Figures are filled in automatically. The space, the territory of the cadastral land plot, and the land plots which are inside this cadastral land. The last figures participating in the organizing of the fertility passport e-book. For the e-books, some certain tables are uploaded into the database. So this was about the layers which participate in forming the passport of fertility. So the first part is over.
Вторая часть
The
посвящена...
second part is devoted to the information turnover. We do not work directly with the database. The specialists, they work with the web interface. It's more simple and understandable. Web interface is connected with the GIS system. It's full integration. GIS contains manual which is connected with the database. GIS are required for the creation of new, or in order to specify, give some additional information about polygons. Besides table system, positive experience working with web GIS and mobile GIS. So we can demonstrate you in our last part. The part is Excel tables. For example, agrochemical parameters don't have geographical attributes. They are collected and uploaded into the database in the form of the tables. The obligatory condition availability of such tables is the unique number, the field with the unique number. The database itself assigns such number, attributes of the layers. For each layer, they were developed and fixed, which are required to fill in while preparing the piece, some part of the shape prior to the uploading to the database. It contains initial tables which has the same similar columns. In case if they are not similar, if they are not matching, the uploading will be not possible. This is the example of web interface. With the help of the web interface, management of database is carried out. So you can set the client. The whole work with the database is based on the principle of the projects. So here we can see the list of the projects. The project is limited by time and the space. So the project is a piece of work which is limited by time and space. When the project is terminated, the outcome of such project is renewed or newly created layers. As for the passport of utility, the project shall contain 3 layers. The layer of cadasters, the layer of fields, and the layer of the points. This is GIS interface. When we prepare the project for the uploading to the database. This is an example of cadasters. The attributes are verified. Prior to the uploading to the database, you require to verify the geometry. Difficulties can be avoided if you check the geometry. As a result of the checking, a new layer with the mistakes is appearing. So as far as it is empty, it is clear that there are no mistakes. As I have already mentioned, integration between GIS is very tough. So GIS has the tool which enables to upload the defined layer into our database. So after adding, edit the layer appears in the list of the temporary tables. On the left side, you can see temporary tables, the pieces of the layers. On the right hand, you can see the main tables which cover the whole Moscow region. So I renewed it, and now cadastre borders TDU appeared. The name of the file and the name of the layers are identical in order not to make a mistake. So then comes merging. New cadasters are edited, they're added into the main tables into main part. Still tables without geometry are added in the form of the file. The same happens with any other layers. So the merging is quite tough and there are no difficulties with such kind of merging. There are many peculiar features in ArcGIS. One of them is automated allocation of points for the selection. So in the features, you select feature to point. You select the layer of the fields. If you tick, then the point should be inside the polygon, and as a result, a new layer is created and allocated as per 1 point per 1 polygon. So the problem of putting points within a small polygon is resolved. There is no need to search for small polygons, so the points are allocated within such polygons. The polygons which are more than 8 hectares, the points are put manually. So after all layers are filled in, we have procedure which is already established in our database for automated filling in fertility passport. So we have to select one of the projects. We ask the database to generate the report. So this procedure requires some certain amount. As far as it refers to many layers, so we have to wait a bit. The passport which was presented was generated in this way.
Наверное, на этом вторая часть тоже можно остановить.
We
Посмотрели.
reviewed the process, how the information is uploaded into the database. I would like to tell how the information is downloaded from the database. It's not a report that was considered previously, but data. So we are in ArcMap now. Besides opening local shape layers, there is a possibility to open layers from the database. The layers which we could see in the first slide, where you can see the internal stuff of the database without any web interface. And on the left side, you can see the list of the created layers. These layers, ArcGIS, can easily connect and then take it into the software, to the program. So you can choose you can select any layer. If you select initial table, then we take all polygons from Moscow Oblast. As far as Moscow Oblast is quite big, for the time being ArcGIS is processing cookies, analog similar to ArcGIS, has an inbuilt filter, which enables to select not the whole layer, but some part of the layer. And many tasks can be resolved using GIS or using database. In order to select some part of the layer, we have the page where you can see the views. On this page, you can select fields for one project. For example, we select now the project TDU of 17 here. So we select generation, dimension project. We select fields for under cadastral. Currently, temporary table is generated where there will be listed fields which refer to TDU project. So the agricultural lands presented are downloaded here. I requested to show me the whole Moscow Oblast with agricultural lands. There is no such server as was mentioned by Belgrade specialists, so you have to be accurate while making requests. So let's download only the part. As you can see, there are many layers. I found temporary table, which was created by us with the help of this web interface. Fields the view of the 2017. So we downloaded the fields referring only to one project. I showed the preparation and uploading of information into the database, showed the methods, the ways to download the GIS, the generation of reports of passport of fertility.
Ну, к сожалению, мы ушли со страницы формирования, вот, но сейчас повторять не будем.
So the third part is over.